Hey, it's Mike. So yesterday I showed you the complete onboarding system for JSM standard or free version. So today, premium version with assets. So what we're going to cover: automatic hardware tracking, provisioning workflow, full lifecycle management, same client, 1,500 employees, insurance company. This is how we track every laptop, monitor phone from assignments to return. All right, let's build it. But guys, before we're going to do it, very quick overview. So I'm covering asset setup today, object schemas, AQL filters, how to connect everything to the onboarding form from yesterday. I'm not re-explaining workflows or automation. That is actually in part 1 and link below. So in a quick summary, pure assets focus. That requires JSM Premium, but you can test it for free for 30 days, sometimes 60. So what we're going to cover today, I will show you, of course, the front end, as we call this, is actually the portal. And the form, I'm not sure if you watched the form from yesterday, it looks almost identical, but there are a few tiny differences because, of course, this is for our customers. And the differences are, if we navigate to a software list, now we have this as the asset. And what is important, we can actually pick multiple software on that. And if we go to hardware, again, that is PC is, as you can actually see, that Dell, Inspire, and HP is pulled from assets list. Same with the Mac. Again, form using dynamic fields. So it's changing based on my variable between Mac and PC. But that is also configured to have a very basic stock control. Of course, I'm going to show you how to do it. Next one, I'm going to explain just a bit about the assets. This is not about assets, but I will show you how I did it, what is inside of that. Super simple configuration. You can almost copy paste that. We're going to cover, of course, backend as well. No, not really that big difference. There's going to be only assets present on the right hand side. Sorry, on the right hand side. I'll cover forms. I'll explain how I build this form, how that works. I'm going to give you all details about that form. But most important is we're actually going to cover fields. I'm going to explain how to configure that field with the assets. I'm talking about that AQL. And again, AQL, you can copy paste, implement it for yourself. We explain just a little bit user configuration. All right, so let's get to it. But a very quick note, I build those asset systems for companies in 3 to 5 days. So full object schemas, AQL filters, automations, integrations, production ready. If you want this running this week, instead of spending 2-3 weeks figuring out AQL syntax, stuff like this, link below. Book this free 15 minutes audit call and let's keep building. Okay, so first, what is going to happen when you raise that ticket? Let's very quickly navigate to the backend. That is my example ticket. That was the front end, as we call, so customer portal. That is the backend agent view. And again, we've got some SLAs configurations. However, most interesting part is, of course, on the right-hand side where we've got our assets. Yes, we can view them, even we can change them if we want. Keep adding them. So how that works. First step is going to be definitely you need to set some assets. And over here, actually, Atlassian can help us a little bit because if you hit that plus button, you can choose the 3, just like this, out of the box basic setup, and they are asset management, people, or facilities. So if you want, you can always, of course, start from a blank schemas or load it for yourself. By the way, the video about loading assets, because you can actually load assets in a few different ways, I will show you in the next video, which is coming probably this week. I will show you how to load assets from CSV but also from a Python script. I've got this Python script ready for you. So, but anyway, let's go back to assets. You just need to briefly configure it. And I actually can tell you something. This is that out-of-the-box IT setup. I think it's actually pretty okay. I've only added a few small modifications like this laptop, and I've later added Mac because I was unsure if I would like to really have with a client a difference between those schemas. Yeah, so it is there, but you don't really need to do it because we can actually filter laptops out using AQL. But anyway, very basic configuration. And again, yes, we've got actually a lot of details, but if you don't really need them, don't use them. My important actually change what I've added over there is into the asset status, because I would like to know, which asset is at the moment in use. And of course, when we start raising tickets, we can actually see them on the right-hand side. So that was actually this super quick overview of the CMDB. By the way, yes, this is actually part of the premium, Jira Premium. Test it for 30 days if you want to see how that works for you. Okay, so what's next? Of course, it's going to be the form. So let's navigate to the form. Again, very quick, very actually, let's say straightforward design. Almost identical what I've been covering yesterday. Why I decided to use forms? Because you can build it so quickly. And again, even if you are in a planning process, you are unsure if you use assets, or for some fields, if you're not going to use assets, absolutely feel free to do it, because don't forget, you can swap using forms a field to a different type using literally like 1 or 2 clicks. Let me show you why. For example, if we navigate to software, where is my software? There you go. And maybe at the moment you do not have assets built for that. So why not, use something like checkboxes or radio button. I think checkboxes is going to be a little bit better. And later, when you configure the field, when you do it, you can always swap it. So nothing really major going on over here. I also use some sections here. So when I pick PC, it's producing only PC's model. When I use Mac, it's actually producing Mac models. And yes, they are linked to assets. So let's see how that works, what is going on inside of that. So we can actually cover the request type a little bit later. So now is the good time to create that field. So how to do it? Again, very simple process, just to create a field and make sure that the field type is set to assets. Cool, that is good. So now we need to set the asset inside of that field, and as the name is saying, it's going to be Apple Macs. Plus I've got this extra twist for you. I'm going to add that extra kind of stock control. It's not actually full stock control. I will have a dedicated video for you about the stock control, because unfortunately assets do not have implemented that option. You have to do third party or API call for that. And yes, that video is actually coming soon. So let's see actually how that field is configured. And most important for us at the moment, that will be that filter scope. It's pretty much self-explanatory. So I copied the names, of course, from my assets. So I know the object type is laptops and the object type is Macs, and I know, my actually schema is called IT infrastructure. So as you can actually see, the AQL is very, very, very straightforward. However, let's move to the bottom section, because this one is important, and sometimes people get confused with the AQL, how to set it up. By the way, if you think you cannot do it, reach out to me. Link in the description, book that free 15 minutes call. So what is going on over there? We've got name, asset tags, status, RAM, SSD, but you can of course pull more information. Don't go too crazy with that, because that information that you're going to see right there will be actually present on our preview. So let's go to the preview. If I'm going to go to Max, can you see? So we've got asset ID, which is inactive, RAM, SSD. That is actually how that works. So what else? We've got display these attributes, and very important, very, very, very important, actually informations in the bottom field can store multiple objects. For the software, that will be yes, but for hardware at the moment, for my laptops, I would say no, because we don't want to have actually multiple options. And that is it. However, I've got this very interesting twist for you, how to implement that little about the stock control, because I would like to only list laptops that they are free, so not in use. So that depends about the status of the assets. The agent needs to actually switch that, or we can create automations for that. So we need to a little bit modify the AQL, and I've got actually that AQL ready for you. So let me add this asset status must be in stock. So it means only that one status is selected. What is that? That status. Let's very quickly go to my Macs. Let's navigate to asset status. So this one is actually in use. So it means it is not going to be displayed. It's not going to be displayed on the list when I'm going to press the button. So of course, I must actually change that to, so I must change the status to in stock. And that is important and actually can work really, really, really well. Assets, so we already covered this. Let's cancel this because I don't want to do any changes. And yes, there will be, of course, few automations to that. There will be actually few extra elements. I'm not going to actually cover this. Just want to show you how to use those assets. So guys, this is your asset power onboarding system. Same workflow as yesterday, but now with automatic hardware tracking and lifecycle management running at 1,500 employees company, every laptop monitor, phone tracked from assignments to return. So tomorrow, I am covering boarding process. Maybe I will include assets as well. So now you have, of course, two options. Spend 2-3 weeks building this yourself and debugging AQL filters, or have it running in your environment in under a week. I've done it for companies managing from 50 to 5,000 employees. Link in the description and pinned comments. Book this free audit. I show you exactly how this works for your setup. So as I said before, tomorrow offboarding setup, how to track assets, return, revoke assets, handle exit in 2 days instead of 2 weeks. Hit subscribe, very, very, very quick favor. If I helped you, please consider subscribing. I drop a new JSM tutorials every week. Drop a comment if you have a questions. I read every single one.